Dirty Dancer is saying, what did Armin think of the executions in Iran when he was still religious? Ooh, interesting question.
Oh, it was hard. Of course, I always thought they were horrible. And the way they do it is even worse in Iran. In Iran, the executions are worse than Saudi Arabia, if you can't believe that, right? In Saudi Arabia, here's one weird version when Iran's government is even worse than Islam, if you can't believe that, right? Saudi Arabia does executions the Islamic way. Iran, for some reason, does it the non-Islamic, more barbaric than Islam, if you can't imagine, okay? Because in Saudi Arabia, when they do executions, they chop your head off, and they have trained people who do it in one cut, so it's not like you basically feel no pain. Please don't think that I'm endorsing this. I'm anti-beheading people. Let's just make that clear, okay? But that is far better. If you could say that, I don't know if people are going to take this out of context. That is far less vile, which is still vile and disgusting and horrible in every way, but much less than what happens in Iran, which they hang you, but not the way that they did it in the Wild Wild West in the United States, when they drop. Okay, so the way other people hang is they put the rope around your neck, they open the door behind your feet, and you drop, and your neck breaks, and then you're done, okay? That's not how they do it in Iran. They put the rope around your neck, and they lift you. They lift you. Your neck doesn't break. So there are so many gay people, for example, that were hanged like this, and they chewed their own tongue out from pain and from the pressure while they were being hanged. They chewed their own tongues out. And I'm not saying that figuratively. Like, they actually genuinely just chewed it out. That's how bad and violent and disgusting this is.
Yeah.
And this is not something even that they teach in Islam. This is what was worse than Islam. Anyways, I'm done.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Shivadas is saying, this is more of an abstract question. When things in life are not going as you would like them to, which probably is the case a lot of the time, what gives you hope or positivity? Yeah, that's a great question. Armin, do you want to go first, or?
It's easier for me to deal with this now because most horrible things that happened to me in my life ended up in the long term putting me in a position that it was preferable to what it was before. Not all of them, but most of them, right? So, like, things happened to me that at the time, it seemed like, holy, this is hell. Like, this is hell. But then what happened because of it after made me grateful that they happened, right? Because I was like, ended up in a situation where, like, damn, I'm so glad that thing that I thought was horrible at the time happened. And now I'm in a position that is so much superior to how it was before it, right? So because most of the things that happened to me that were horrible in life ended up putting me in a better position in the long term, next time something horrible happens to me, it just gives me some perspective of like, okay, this might seem really bad right now, okay, but we got this. We got this, okay? We've been through stuff like this before. I basically, when I say we, I'm talking to myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to Armin. Like, we've been through this before. We've survived. This is one of those things that we're going to be able to survive again, right? So
yeah,
that's
right. I have another. It's the same. Like, the more, I think the older you get, the more you survive through things. You just notice that the worst things you go through, eventually, it's weird. Eventually, you look back on those things. You're like, well, I'm glad I went through that because it made me who I am. Like, things turned out for the best. So whenever I'm actually going through something like that at this age, I can say, well, one day I will, somehow this is going to be for the best. So I just have to kind of relax and ride it out. But rather, I think two things are really important for me. One is, instead of distracting myself from it, like, a distraction isn't a solution. They can look the same. People often distract themselves through tough things. I think it's really important to go through it rather than away from it. because that's the only way that you learn. The second thing is, I was a pathologist. I was very close to death for many, many years. For like, I think 6 or 7 years, I used to do a lot of autopsies. And one thing that I started thinking about a lot was death. And that actually gives me hope or positivity. Like, no matter how bad things get in your life, this sounds really terrible for me to say, but there's always a way out. There is a way out. That door is always there. It can happen. It's there for you. You can always end it all, and all of your problems will be over. And when you think about that, I know it's a weird way to think about things. When you think about that, it makes whatever you're going through more bearable. I don't know how it does, but for me, it does. So
Okay,
I actually think about that every day. Yeah.
let's do short answers from now. And I'm gonna try. I know I don't know.
That question needed a long answer, though. Okay,
Yes,
Bobo
yes.
is saying, a weird question. How do Muslim families cremate ex-Muslims? Do ex-Muslims think about how their funerals will take place?
Cremate?
Yeah. Well,
They don't.
they bury them generally,
Yeah.
unless.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many ex-Muslims I've heard who talked about they prefer to be cremated, and that's fine. I mean, I've a lot of ex-Muslims, just like regular people, they talk about what they want during their funerals, and
I don't think ex-Muslims are alike in that. Like, I don't think there's
they're not.
Yeah, I think ex-Muslims are very, and many questions, including that one, they have different answers. So
Yeah.
what they want is not going to be very similar. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're just like everybody else. Everybody has their own preferences about how they want their funerals.
Yeah, I'm not planning on dying, by the way. I'm going to freeze my head and I'm going to live forever.
Yeah. It's good. Bulbul is saying, pretty sure ex-Muslims will soon have to resort to endogamy because of love jihad laws.
In India.
In India? I don't know that much about it. I don't know this sort of love jihad thing. I've been reading about it, but I am sensing, just like a lot of things in India right now, is that it is way more overblown than it really is. You know?
No. This one is not. This one
is it?
No, but this is well, I mean, it's mostly in Uttar Pradesh right now, in UP, but it's really bad. It is bad. It's like, it's something that if it happened anywhere else, in any Western country, in North America and Europe, the whole world would be talking about it right now.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.